When it comes to professional fighting as a means to make a living, athletes end up in one of two camps, either extremely rich or fighting to survive off of prize money. Tristan Tate's career as a professional kickboxer definitely falls into that latter category. So how has he wound up with an estimated net worth of around $10 million according to sources like ladbible.com? Better yet, how does he afford to live the life of luxury he so clearly portrays on social media? I'm talking about a sports car collection that includes an Aston Martin Vanquish, a Bmw M5, and a $300,000 Ferrari F58. I mean, even when he's not dropping the entire GDP of a small country on a series of unforgettable whips, he is spending a fortune on his impeccable fashion sense. That includes a Breitling Super Ocean Heritage wristwatch and footwear that ranges from Gucci to Dolce & Gabbana. Hell, he's even willing to spend a pretty penny on a couple of vices like his bottomless collection of champagne and a cigar habit that may be second to none. Cigar habit. No matter what social media platform you're consuming his content on, odds are you've been absolutely captivated by Tristan and his brother Andrew's incredible spending habits. So that brings us back to our original question. How does he afford all this, especially considering his kickboxing career didn't exactly pack a punch? Well, the dirty secret about the Tate brothers isn't really all that much of a secret at all. Why? Because they're more than happy to discuss how they earned their fortune by starting their own webcam business, segueing into the casino business thanks to a few dubious connections that they picked up during their days as fighters. And that's not all. They've also recently started a new venture that they claim is making them money by the fistful. It's called Hustlers University, and if the Tates are to be believed, it's recently been evaluated for an absurd amount. How much is this new business worth? Well, stay tuned to our newest episode of The Rich Life to find out. We begin with Tristan and his brother Andrew's newest money-making scheme. It's called Hustlers University, and its mission statement is to take you, average everyday slob of a man, and turn him into a wealthy Greek Adonis, or whatever the Romanian equivalent of that may happen to be. Is there a Romanian Adonis? May just have to settle for Drake's son. Now, this product originally got started as a website called Cobra Tate, and back then it was pretty much the exact same thing that the Tate brothers claim it is today. A place where men can go and learn how to accumulate wealth, whether it's through stocks, cryptocurrency, NFTs, copywriting, e-commerce, freelancing, marketing, and more. Tristan and Andrew have spent years putting together a collection of multimillionaires, all of whom are willing to spill their highly sought after secrets to paying customers. According to their website, which gets updated with a new look seemingly every week, there are already over 90,000 people signed up for this program that charges $49 a month, which, if true, would mean that Tristan and his brother are splitting around $4.4 million a month in profits. Now, whether or not these two brothers share that money equally is kind of a question mark, but considering how simpatico Tristan claims he and his brother are, I'm sure Andrew is splitting the profits down the middle.
We grew up together and we always had each other's backs, so we were always going to be similar in personality and similar in interests. So yeah, no, it's a blessing to have a guy like him on your team.
Whether it is or it isn't, Andrew has already gone on record saying that Hustlers University has already been evaluated at a startling $300 million.
Hustlers University?
Yep.
That's already been valued. That was valued at $300 million.
When did you start Hustlers University?
A year ago.
Like so much else to do with these two, the reality behind that statement is dubious. But like the old saying goes, there's a sucker born every minute. And in a world with a population of 7.7 billion, I mean, who's to say for sure whether or not 90,000 people actually have signed up for this course? Like so many other things in his life, Tristan started his career by following his brother Andrew into the sport of kickboxing. And while Andrew would become a multi-time champion in the sport, he actually made very little money from doing so, and he would claim the biggest payday he ever received for one fight that was somewhere around $100,000. As for Tristan, well, his career wasn't even as notable as that. A ton of questionable websites report that he is a two-time ISACA champion in the sport. However, I couldn't find any actual proof to back these claims up, outside of him winning a championship referred to as the British Low Kick title in 2012. Something tells me that this one didn't come with a $100,000 payday. Whatever they did happen to clear would also get divvied up. 20% of this would go to the coach, another 10% of winnings would often get lost along the way when it came to things like tournament entrance fees. So Andrew and Tristan retired from the sport while they were still in their primes, and turned their eyes towards becoming reality TV stars. But you see, the problem with reality TV is that unless you actually win whatever series it is you're taking part in, which in Tristan's case was season 4 of Shipwreck the Island, you don't actually walk away with that much in the way of money. Now, certain series operate in different manners. For instance, it was reported that Big Brother contestants Contestants, which is the series that Andrew took part in, can make a stipend around $1,000 for each week that they spend in the house. But Shipwreck was different. It doesn't offer its contestants a weekly stipend, only £50,000 in prize money that gets awarded at the end of each season to the winning team. Unfortunately, Tristan didn't make it that far in his one and only appearance on that series, so the only thing he walked away with was more notoriety. But hey, sometimes you can't put a price on fame. After kickboxing and reality TV didn't go according to plan, Tristan teamed up with Andrew for a surefire way to make more money by starting their own webcam business. I mean, after all, the global webcam market was estimated to be worth $6.8 billion in US currency in 2020 alone, and is estimated to exceed that amount by 12% over the next 6 years. With numbers like those, there's no way to miss, and they certainly didn't. After starting their operation out in their apartment and roping in 2 of Andrew's ex-flames, Tristan and Andrew were reportedly clearing around $4,000 a day. And once they began to expand their roster, that number would jump up around $300,000 a month.
We essentially started our webcam studio by buying a few cameras from an electronics store using our existing laptops and keyboards we had at home. You know, the investment was no more than a couple $100, and we made our money back within 24 hours. When I started making serious money, that's when I accelerated it and made a bunch more money.
That's an additional $3.6 million in annual income. Eventually, they transitioned this business model into more of a talent agency where they represent a series of the world's most popular OnlyFans models to help these women make more money on the platform than they otherwise might. So what does Tristan ask for in return? Well, only 50% of the model's revenue, which to me does kind of sound a little bit high. Don't most agents take like 10 to 20%? I mean, that must be why this business reportedly earns the Tate brothers millions of dollars each and every month. Last and certainly not least, we do have Andrew and Tristan's casino chain that they operate out of their home base in Romania. Both men have been interested in the casino business from a young age. So when the contacts that they made during their careers as fighters put them in touch with a few shady casino owners in Eastern Europe, Tristan and Andrew walked their way into franchising their own location by promising to put the owners of Competition out of business.
People who watch me and know me know that I run a chain of casinos here in Bucharest. That's very, that's the house always wins, as you can imagine. So yeah, I make a lot of money through that.
Of course, it's hard to know for sure how much Tristan is clearing from this particular venture, but you'd have to figure it would be somewhere in the ballpark of 7 figures a month, if the casino is always as busy as it looks whenever the brothers post about it on social media. Now that we have an idea of how Tristan turned himself into a jet setter, let's take a look at how he spends all that cash. Well, to begin, we do need to talk about the Tate brothers car collection, and yes, I'm going to lump this in as something that they share together because if you do take a look at either of their social media profiles, then you'll quickly come to realize that they both post pictures of the same vehicles. Take for instance the $265,000 Aston Martin Vanquish S Ultimate, one of only 175 in existence worldwide. Or how about a BMW M5 Competition? It might retail for a slightly less jarring $130,000, but the brothers clearly have a special place in their hearts for it because it pops up on their feed most frequently than others. According to the brothers, their M5 was modified to include over 800 horsepower, custom suspension, monoblock forged wheels, a custom exhaust system, and a plethora of other upgrades. Another clear favorite of Tristan's is his Ferrari F58 Italia, a supercar that retails for as much as $300,000 depending upon the options included. The car has been finished in a color scheme known as Viola Metallic and comes with a classic, not to mention snazzy, red leather interior. Better yet, the car is capable of producing 562 horsepower from its V8 engine. And that's far from the Tate brothers' whole collection. If you want to learn more about all the money that they continuously pour into these machines, then be sure to check out our Rich Life on Andrew Tate, which takes a look at the most expensive car they own, the $4.2 million Bugatti Chiron Pure Sport. There's no doubt that Tristan looks the part of an international jet setter, but to really complete the package, he sometimes needs to indulge in a couple less than healthy habits, talking about smoking and drinking the very best when it comes to champagne and cigars. When Tristan indulges in a bottle of bubbly, he generally seems to drink one of two brands. Bollinger, which does have a reputation for producing a muscular champagne with body, depth, and power. In fact, in today's market, it's often considered one of the greatest champagne houses and can retail for as much as $60 a bottle. And then there's his second favorite, Moet Chandon, which is created from more than 100 different wines to enhance its maturity, complexity, and consistency. A bottle of this brand will probably set you back around $50 each, which may be why Tristan tends to stock up on both brands whenever he goes shopping. I mean, that's roughly $1,000 worth of champagne in one picture alone. And then there's Tristan's smoking habit, which often revolves around hand-rolled masterpieces from the likes of Empalidor and Romeo and Julieta. These may not cost Tristan the same arm and a leg as his car collection, but a box of 25 of these bad boys can still retail at $500 a pop. And considering how often he's seen enjoying them, Tristan may have a decent chunk of cash allotted to one of his favorite pastimes. I mean, I would do the same. Last but not least, let's discuss Tristan's sense of style. First, there's his Breitling Super Orange Heritage watch, a timepiece that he wears quite often and is worth an estimated $5,500. This limited edition piece boasts two signature elements, a concave bidirectional ceramic bezel, and a dial featuring an oversized indices. Then there's his footwear, like his Philip plain loafers that are handcrafted in Italy with a crocodile finish and a retail for around $1,000 a pair. When Tristan wants his feet to feel even more fancy than that, he'll even throw on a pair of his fur-lined Gucci mules, which can also cost somewhere in the ballpark of $1,000 a pair as well. And if you think those are pricey, just wait until you lay eyes on these Bordeaux ostrich skin mule handcrafted Dolce & Gabbana. Any guesses how much these set Tristan back? Well, according to their official website, they retail for a ridiculous $2,600. It's more than double of the other two pairs. I don't know about you guys, but most of the time I'm willing to settle for the same pair of running shoes all year long until they come apart on the inside. But spending habits like these must be what makes Tristan Tate the man, an enigma, and a social media icon that he is today. Thank you everybody for watching this latest episode in The Rich Life. Please be sure to let us know what you thought in the comment section down below. Don't forget to check out other entries in this series, including our recent look into the bank accounts of each and every member of the Sidemen, as well as Tristan's brother Andrew. Then before you head out, like, subscribe, ring that bell for notifications, all that good stuff. My name is Clyde Smith, and I'll see you guys in another video.